Welcome to the Edge Up Podcast with your hosts, Reid and Glenn from Hawai'i Trading Academy. On today's podcast, guys, I want to talk about something that's in the mind or, within someone's, that's inside of you, right? Resiliency. I want to talk about that because a lot of, like you're seeing nowadays, sad to say, man, our society is getting soft, and we're seeing it.
Yeah.
In our daily,
Yeah.
it's sad to say, this is the wrong direction we want the overall society. We got a lot of people who just complain and whine and like they always want the easy way out, right? They're coddled. But I want to give context to this. I'm not going to turn this into a rant podcast. We're talking about resiliency over luck, right? I want to give context with this, like just giving two examples. We have person A who who got lucky, won a lottery and got a lump sum of money, right? And person B who earned success by becoming an entrepreneur, who went through the trenches and battled their way and finally made it. And the mindset between those two different people is so far apart, even though they ended up with the same result of having increasing their um finances. The At the end, I think there's still going to be two different people, and the person B maybe, I know there's a little bit of statistics that we have that we're going to share, but person B may be the one who's going to be able to do it all over again. You can't win the lottery again. That's highly unlikely, but you drop person B in a place that they don't know, and they could go ahead using the skills and lessons that they learn. They can go ahead and redo what they accomplished. So I just want to share like the definition of resilience and how this is going to be tuned in, like really get in alignment with what we do as traders in the market day by day. Resilience, the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. When I read difficulties, I think losses, but yeah, the capacity to withstand. And I know that every entrepreneur out there, and traders, entrepreneurs are traders, vice versa. Traders are entrepreneurs. It is a skill that can be developed, which is good news, folks. Good news.
Dude, I wanted to say, did you know that there was actually a guy who won the lottery 2 times in a row? Is an
Damn,
Australian
the
man.
one
Fun
off.
fact.
Did he cheat, bro?
Australian dude, so it's Australian man. He got interviewed. They're like, wow, congratulations on your first winning. Can you reenact this? He's like, yeah, I walked up here, bought a scratch card and scratched it, and he just like he's like, I just won $250,000 again. And it was just like, what? Are you serious? And like, basically, he won. He won
Was on TV. Damn, that
twice.
guy's lucky.
That's wild, man.
He's never gonna wash his drawers, man. Like,
His name is Bill Morgan, and he was a truck driver.
good
So a
for
little fun
him.
fact. But I mean, that's a 0.00001% chance out of billions of people who tried the lottery. Maybe billions. I don't know. Multi millions.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have one study of the Powerball winner, right? The curse of the lottery, where you could talk about that.
Yeah. So basically, like a man who won like $350 million in 2002, his daughter and granddaughter died. So I mean, of course, with wealth, it becomes there's negatives to every sides of the coin. Two sides of a coin. And then another man, it only took him 5 years. A man who in Kentucky who won a $21 million prize in 2001, he lost it all by 2006. And so
Damn.
but I think when we think of lottery winners, bro, it's like we hear the statistic that most lottery winners give back their money, but that's not backed by any data or any study, actually, because we did a little Google foo here. We found out that that study is actually inaccurate, that 70% will give back their money. But that besides the point, like, people who get large sums of money, they haven't earned it, right? Whereas traders, as entrepreneurs, business, they earn it. And I think that's the whole difference. That's the mindset that we're talking about is like, yeah, you could get, let's say a prop firm in relation to trading. Let's say you got received $100,000 account for free from Surge Traders, for example. Do you have the skills? Do you have the mental resiliency to keep that $100,000? Honestly, probably not. But if
Mhm.
you're a trader working towards your goals, if you're doing it smart and you have that resiliency, that I would bet my money on that trader, that person B that you were talking about.
Right. The one who went through all the losses and the crash and the blowing up of accounts, man. I want to share another stat that we found from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics in regards to entrepreneurship and starting your own business. I just wanted to see what the failure rate is, So 20.8% of businesses fail in the first year, year one. 48%, let's call it 50, fail in the first 5 years. And then 65% fail within the first 10 years. So it's very like it's easy. The barrier is easy to get in to start your own business, to start your LLC, you know, but in the end, like you want to focus on the long game of standing out or living through the tough times, right? And I'm sure those businesses who made it through these stats, the CEOs, the founders, they all have developed that skill or that resiliency to be tough, to have that tough mindset, to make tough decisions, especially during COVID. If you're a business who survive, who was really impacted negatively by COVID, the shutdowns and whatnot, and you went through that, like, boom, you could put that on your, add that to your belt, put that on your resume, dude. If your business is still standing and even thriving, props to you guys, right? So, all countless different examples here. I just want to share a few, highlight a few that's pretty relevant to today. The app Canva. A lot of people use it. It just blew up over the past few years. The founder, she started it, I think, over 10 years ago with $0. She got turned down by hundreds of VCs, venture capitalists. They wouldn't give her a single dollar. They're like, yo, there's Adobe Photoshop out there. You can't go up against them. But sure enough, it was like wildfire over the past few years. It's valued at $12 billion. So what is she had? She needed that resiliency to keep on going during those 10 years. I just went over that business stat of all the businesses failing, but like if I was to tell you, Reid, if you all you gotta do is suffer for 10 years, but you'll have a $12 billion check waiting
I'll
for
take
you.
it.
You know what I
I
mean?
think I think you'd be dumb not to take that
Yeah,
offer.
yeah. So her name is Melanie Perkins from Australia. Props to her, man. That's a champ. You can go over
Billionaire now.
billion.
Billionaire. That's wild, dude. Yeah, I mean, imagine like going from ramen noodles for 10 years. Like this is just like super exaggeration, but imagine going ramen noodles for 10 years to becoming a billionaire. Yeah, like I mean, that's just it sounds fantastical and amazing, but these are the kind of stories that we're hearing now with trading. 1 year everything flips. So I
Yeah.
think and that just takes resiliency, man.
That does, for sure. I mean, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Right, it's funny, we're actually rewatching the movies as we speak. So, I mean,
Yes,
the wife
sir.
going through it. Yeah, her
Awesome.
story is very inspirational. She made it big as one of the top selling authors ever. Um,
We're richest woman in England, I believe, the UK.
yeah, yeah. And Colonel Sanders, for those who love fried chicken, I mean, KFC, man.
So
He got a late start with his journey. I think he started KFC after 60 years old, and he went door knocking, trying to sell his recipe, and he got turned so many times. But here we are. There's KFCs all over the world, man. You know, but
Over 1,000 rejections. Over
thousand
1,000
rejections, yeah,
rejections.
1,000. Come on, guys. Imagine
Like
if
J.K.
Colonel
Rowling experienced 12,
12.
12 no's. That's
Oh,
all right. That's tough.
good.
I get that. No one wants to get turned down that many times. But imagine 1,000, dude, or over 1,000, over 1,000 times.
What would his spouse be telling him, dude? Like 990. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I read something though. Like he worked at a chicken place, right?
mm-hmm.
And he tried to like present it like to the owner, and the owner's like, no, that's a dumb idea. But people who would come in, or people who knew him and who ate his chicken, they're like, no, you need to turn this into something. But I guess he just kept getting turned down from everywhere.
That's crazy, yo. Let's tie it back. Let's tie it back to trading. Um, this was a story in the Market Wizards book. There's a trader by the name of William Eckhart, and he struggled for 10 years because he could not turn a profit. He tried all kinds of trading methods and strategies, but nothing seemed to work. He even lost his capital, all of his trading capital at one point. And that gives you every reason to give up, especially during those 10 years. 10 years that's a decade, guys, you know. And sure enough, this quote from the book, I was a loser for 10 years. I lost all my money, but I kept at it. I learned from my mistakes and I eventually figured out. Right there, he just summed up in a few sentences his whole entire trading career. And he was very humble about the last part. He eventually figured out this guy was a baller. Like his partner was Richard Dennis, and he helped create the Turtle Traders. Yeah.
Ooh, Turtle Traders, amazing. If you guys don't know about the Turtle Traders, look them up. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I think Mike Covell writes a book about the Turtle Traders. That story reminds me of 3 Feet from Gold, and how like basically 3 Feet from Gold is a story. It's based in a true story about the story of R.U. Darby during the Gold Rush era. And basically Darby, he gave up literally 3 feet from gold. I mean, it might have been embellished, right, a little bit, but the whole moral of the story is that, I mean, it's fact, but the moral of the story is like he gave up. If you don't give up, he could have been there like that. That's He's right there. And I want to put in the trader or whoever's listening in your mind, like, what is the thing that you are doing right now that you want to do but you're not successful at, but that's what you want to do for forever? Imagine like just stopping giving up when it's hard,
Mm-hmm.
but you know that that success is right there. But you don't know
Mm-hmm.
when it's going to happen, but you know it's right there. You could smell it, you could taste it, you feel it, but it's not in your mouth yet. You're just like
Yeah.
touching it, you know?
Seeing
Um
it through the window.
yeah, seeing it through the window. Like I think it's basically to inspire people like to persevere through challenges. So that's another really great book. Think 3 Feet from Gold.
And you pointed out something right there, like success may be around the corner, but the persistence is crucial. And so, like, we're talking about resiliency right now, but I think it pairs up well with persistency and commitment and discipline, those other crucial characteristics of what makes traders successful.
Resiliency will lead us to success, but like
Mhm.
everyone's definition of success is different. Your definition is probably different from mine, or well, we're
Yeah,
traders. We both know what we want. We know
yeah,
it's gonna be successful, but you know what I mean. There's micro differences there. A listener will be listening. Is like, what does success mean? Like, I don't care about all that. Like, you guys talk about money all the time, but what is success?
yeah, yeah. I mean, we can't sit here and tell you what the success means. We're gonna have our own interpretation, as you would say. That's for you to dig in and really understand what success means to you. We're talking about like the whole idea of just the journey of entrepreneurship, the the journey of like the person starting out step one and seeing through the many years what you become at the end. To me, that's success. You know, if you're not the
Mm.
same person as you were a year ago, 5 years ago, but you're striving to the direction you want to take you and your family, that's success. And we just highlighting one of the big things that we both experience in our own right of resiliency.
Yeah, I want to double tap this is like the way I see success is a person could fail their whole entire life or fail, right, to society their entire life. But let's say you ask them from day one, and then you look at, let's say, 20 years later down the line, and you ask them, like, he'll be a complete, or she, they'll be a complete different person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think that a better person because they've dealt with so much, right? And yeah, that's a really great standpoint. Like just the grit, the resiliency, the persistence. Really, three different words, same like connotation, same type of meaning behind it.
Hmm.
It's like
Hmm.
never give up. That's it, dude.
Never give up, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine says, incremental, not monumental. So what he kind of means by that is, you know, as we're going through our journey, looking back at those examples that we shared with you with KFC and J.K. Rowling, they incrementally made changes that was positive for their life, positive for themselves, and because it didn't happen overnight. A lot of these examples we shared was not a lottery win overnight. It was 10 years in the making. It took them 10 years to be an overnight success, you know? And so, you know, you want to think of success as, or yeah, success or, you know, making progress incrementally. How can you do a little bit more today than you did yesterday? How can you become 1% or half a percent? Because that compounds into, and it stacks your work effort, your resiliency, it compounds on that. Imagine how much value is going to be in the end, you know? So these small changes will equal big results.
Yeah, I think like action, right? That's what I'm getting. Is like take action. It doesn't have to be massive, massive amounts of action. Maybe you just start with writing your ideas down. That's a simple action. And
Yeah.
those small actions, right? Like a lot of people they wait for perfection.
Mhm.
And I was talking to Glenn offline, but before I met Glenn, here's a personal story here is that like I was in a band and we performed for like our school, right? It was a real small school. And we were slotted for only one song. Okay, we played the one song, boom, we did okay. We get off stage. No, it was a talent show. No one wanted to go at the end slot. So they're like, hey, you guys want to go back up and play one more song? And we're like, oh, we'll play the same one. And the band members I was with are like, no, we need to play like this song, a newer song. I'm like, yeah, but we didn't practice it. We spent all week practicing one song, only one song to make it perfect, right? And my mindset was like, you know, we're not perfect. We're not going to perform. No. And so, like, basically, the opportunity didn't happen. Come with Glenn, and we're like, we're doing this, starting this entrepreneurship journey together. And I'm the one who's like, oh no, the design's got to be perfect. This got to be nice. The word title, all this. And he's like, or we just push it out and edit it in hindsight, right? And I'm like, dude, that's actually the way that we've been doing it now. And I think it works a lot better, man. We're making small incremental changes or small incremental moves towards a better, bigger goal. And I think that's the way all businesses should look at their journey, and even traders, especially traders, they should look at what are small things, and like it doesn't have to be perfect, and no trading system is perfect. You're not going to win all the time,
Mhm.
right? You're going to lose some. Forget who, I think is Lance Bernstein. He's like he loses more than he wins, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, like a lot of trend traders, they lose statistically more, but they know that these small changes that I change in my plan, in my trading style, will get me to the success that I want to see. So I
Yeah.
think that's just something to take into consideration is take action and don't worry about the perfection. Just stop procrastinating. That's the worst thing that you could do as an individual in anything.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're procrastinating from reading a book, maybe you're procrastinating from cooking dinner or going to the gym. Don't do that
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, I want to quote Glenn Stearns. He said, when it comes to business, you want to build the plane while flying it. That's kind
Sounds
of nuts.
sketch, but
That sounds
I get the
sketch.
meaning.
So taking it back to trading, guys, we get an idea or we read a book or watch a video, we get a trading idea. Yes, we back test it, but really ask yourself, like, if you're hesitating on really launching it um, into the live markets and putting capital to work to see if your that trading idea does become profitable, you got to look at that and be like, okay, it's not going to be perfect, right? You're not always going to get perfect conditions for trading this strategy. You're not always going to feel perfect physically and mentally. You're not going to always do that. Things will happen, life will happen, and you got to figure out a way to find that little edge. You were looking for that word. We got to write this down. Robust. You have a robust trading system. You have a robustness when it comes to execution, and all that. So yeah, just to like really pin the needle on the perfectionism. Like when you have that, I don't think it's gonna there's no perfection in trading. But you do need the resiliency, you do need the toughness, you do need the grit to get through it, because it's not easy. We're not saying trading will be easy, plain and simple. The reward is great for sure, but it's worth it. It's worth the struggle.
I mean, and also thinking of like, this is kind of funny. A funny thought to entertain is lottery winners. It's actually capped. It's set 350, 315 million is the Powerball. Okay, cool. I could win 350 million. That's so awesome. I mean, okay, besides taxes, all that, you get the point.
Yeah.
With trading, we could make more than that. With like, there really is no cap to how much you could make. I mean, even it goes even for entrepreneurs, but like specifically trading is like there is no cap. We can't be like, oh, I'm only going to make $1 million this year. No, it could be anything above
Mhm.
and below. But the point is, you can make anything you want in trading.
Mhm.
But Glenn, you mentioned like a robust system, and it got me thinking. I want to ask this: how do you get a robust system?
Yeah, robust system where a few things come to mind, when it comes to specifically trading. You don't want to create a system where it only works in perfect conditions. You'll be like, okay, I need to see these particular candles at this particular time frame during this part of the trading day, with this much volume, you know, and this perfect I need to see these patterns come. And then I only can trade on, during lunar cycle or whatever, like those different things, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
When I'm wearing my lucky shorts.
right. Having a robust system is like, okay, no matter what's going on, you got the news, you got war, you got this and that. Like I can take my system, it's loose enough where I can let the market breathe, but I can let my edge play out, And you were pointing out trend followers, they lose a lot. Yes, they lose a lot. Their strike rate's poor, but they make it up with their winners because they're able to ride the bigger trends. They are able to have a system where they don't get prematurely knocked out and miss out the whole move. That's just one example. I mean, you could bring this down to intraday trading or swing trading as well. Just going back to having a robust system is just being able to have a system where it's not too tight, it's loose enough. You don't have these strict boundaries. I'm not saying just be loosey goosey. You're gonna have to figure out what that means to you. It goes back to risk, it goes back to what's your comfortable pain point, and seeing how you can employ it with the market.
Great answer. I think to add that again, add another sequence to this is you're not gonna remember it. You're not gonna remember this stuff. You need to document this stuff. So you need to like journal it. You need to write it down. You need to find some way to capture your ideas and then turn it into into a profitable system. And I think that's very similar to like all businesses. All successful businesses have track records as far as like income statements and expenses and where to cut, the fat off. And it's same with trading. Where can I refine with the losses? You're not going to know if you don't actually have that data, that's statistics, right? That journaling. So again, another podcast, another nearing the end, and we're talking about journaling, and I think it just emphasizes how important journaling is.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, guys, we're running a business here, and you, even though you're just an individual trader, you're trading for yourself. You need to treat this as your business because it is, and you got to take this seriously. You can't just be YOLOing. You got to ask yourself when will you graduate to the next level mindset, next level of thinking, next level of carrying yourself as a professional, and like we're coming up close to the end of 2023 already. You got to start planning for next year. Business entrepreneurs are already got their schedule lined up till for 1 year ahead, so they're prepared. You got to be prepared when it comes to trading.
Yeah, I mean that goes into the intraday. Like you got to be prepared the night you're trading. Don't become like, you know, just coming out slinging like, oh, I'm gonna trade this, I'm gonna trade that. You got to plan it. Like
Yeah,
that is so important too. Yeah, planning it
wishful
out.
thinking. Imagine we could just jump in and be like, yeah, we'll make money right now. But yeah, I mean, that was our take on resiliency over luck, guys. If this anything resonated with you, if you found this podcast valuable, share this episode with a friend that you think that would benefit from it. So thank you for listening. Whether you're looking to improve your trading mindset and growth, we'll provide you with the tools, tips, and inspiration you need to make your next breakthrough. So tune in and let's edge up together.